and welcome back to another episode of Courts This Week, your go-to source for the latest legal updates presented by livelaw. I'm your host, Ostika Das, and I'm here to take you through the most significant updates from this week. From the corridors of the Supreme Court to local judicial proceedings, I'll be providing you with clear and concise summaries that keep you informed and ahead of the curve. But remember, for a more in-depth understanding, do visit our website at www.livelaw.in. In today's episode, we cover the latest on the Kolkata doctor's alleged rape and murder, the Swati Maliwal assault case, Justice Hema Committee report, Wikipedia defamation case, and much more. So let's dive into the headlines. This week, the Supreme Court dismissed a plea by Sandeep Ghosh, former principal of RG Kar Medical College and Hospital, challenging a Calcutta High Court order that transferred the investigation of financial irregularities against him to the CBI. The allegations brought forward by Akhtar Ali, the former deputy superintendent of the college, include serious charges like the mismanagement of dead bodies, reselling bio-waste in the open market, and misuse of public funds. Before the Supreme Court, Ghosh's counsel objected to the High Court's reference linking these irregularities to the alleged rape murder of a trainee doctor that occurred on 9th August. Ghosh also argued that the investigation was transferred without giving him a chance to be heard. However, the bench led by Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, along with Justices J.B. Pardiwala and Manoj Mishra, clarified that an accused does not have the right to be heard when a transfer of investigation is sought. The court firmly stated that it would not interfere with the High Court's handling of this case. When Ghosh's counsel suggested limiting the CBI investigation to only the financial irregularities and not connecting it to the alleged rape murder incident amid protest from the Solicitor General, the Chief Justice of India rejected this argument, emphasizing that an accused cannot dictate the scope of an investigation. In another development, the Supreme Court also rejected the West Bengal government's appeal against the bail granted to Shayon Lahiri, a student leader involved in protests over the RG Kar Hospital rape murder case. The protests, which were initially peaceful, escalated into violent clashes, resulting in injuries to both police and protesters. The state's plea was dismissed by the court, with Justice Pardiwala remarking that the appropriate legal route had not been taken in this case by the state, which was to raise objections before the High Court as to why no separate petitions under Section 428 of the Code of Criminal Procedure were filed, seeking the quashing of each of the FIRs. Meanwhile, the Calcutta High Court has asked the Central Bureau of Investigation to submit a report regarding objectionable social media comments made about the victim in the same case. The CBI, tasked with the investigation, was requested to handle the cyber-related aspects, though the State Police's cyber cell may assist as needed. The matter will be heard next by the High Court on 18th September. In another important development, the West Bengal Legislative Assembly has unanimously passed the Aprajita Woman and Child West Bengal Criminal Laws Amendment Act 2024, which was introduced by the state government with the objective of enhancing penalties for crimes against women and children. This proposed amendment to the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023 or BNS introduces the death penalty or lifelong imprisonment for rape, gang rape, rape by police officer or public servant, rape leading to death or sending the victim into a persistent vegetative state, as well as rape by repeat offenders. Other than this, it also amends the BNS to provide for special fast-track courts for such offences. Notably, it also seeks to remove concessions for child offenders in rape cases. In a significant decision this week, the Supreme Court granted bail to Bibhav Kumar, the personal assistant to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Kumar had been in custody for over 100 days following allegations made by Aam Aadmi Party MP Swati Maliwal that he assaulted her at Kejriwal's residence on 13th May. A bench comprising Justices Surya Kant and Ujjal Bhuiya observed that the charge sheet had already been filed, and with over 51 witnesses proposed by the prosecution, the trial would likely take considerable time to conclude. The court noted that releasing Kumar would not prejudice the investigation as it was already complete. Maliwal had alleged that Kumar had assaulted her when she tried to meet the Chief Minister, leading to an FIR being registered. This ruling allows Kumar to be released while the legal proceedings continue. In a major development concerning the Shambhu border blockade, the Supreme Court has ordered the formation of a high-powered committee to negotiate with farmers protesting at the Punjab-Haryana border. The protests, which have blocked the national highway, sparked a petition by the state of Haryana to remove the blockade. The bench of Justices Surya Kant and Ujjal Bhuiya appointed former Punjab and Haryana High Court Judge Justice Nawab Singh to head the committee and lead negotiations with both the farmers and the states. The court has requested the committee to request the protesters to remove their tractors, trolleys, etc. from Shambhu border at the national highway and move to an alternate site in order to relieve the general public. In addition to this, the bench has also cautioned the agitating farmers against political interference, stressing that the issue should not be politicized and urging peaceful resolution through dialogue. This week, the Supreme Court stayed a Gujarat High Court order that required the Times of India to issue a more explicit apology for incorrect reporting of court proceedings. The Gujarat High Court had found that Times of India, along with the Indian Express and Divya Bhaskar, misrepresented court observations during a hearing, leading readers to believe that they were final judgments. While the newspapers had issued apologies, the High Court found that these were insufficient as they did not clarify that the errors were related to misreporting, and accordingly on 2nd September, the High Court granted them 3 more days to issue a clearer public apology on their front pages. The Supreme Court bench, led by Justices B.R. Gavai, Prashant Kumar Mishra and K.V. Vishwanathan, has granted leave to Times of India's petition while staying the High Court's directive. However, the Supreme Court has allowed the ongoing proceedings regarding amendments to the Gujarat Secondary and Higher Secondary Education Act to continue. The Times of India now has time to respond, while the stay on the requirement to issue a new apology remains in place. The Supreme Court has directed the Himachal Pradesh High Court Collegium to reconsider its decision on the elevation of 2 senior district judges. The case involved District Judges Chirag Bhanu Singh and Arvind Malhotra, who have petitioned the Apex Court, contending that the High Court Collegium overlooked their merit and seniority. These 2 judges had initially been recommended for elevation to the High Court in December 2022, although their elevation was deferred by the Supreme Court Collegium in July 2023. In January this year, the Supreme Court Collegium directed the High Court Collegium to review their names again. The Union Law Minister also sent a letter supporting reconsideration of their names. Then in May, the Supreme Court issued a notice asking for a report from the Registrar General of the Himachal Pradesh High Court on whether the High Court Collegium had complied with this directive. After receiving the report in July, the court had reserved its judgment. An argument was raised on behalf of the High Court that since the Supreme Court's resolution requested the Chief Justice of the High Court to reconsider the names of the petitioners, the Chief Justice can take an individual decision. However, a bench of Justices Rishikesh Roy and Prashant Kumar Mishra has now clarified this week that the Chief Justice of a High Court cannot individually decide on the reconsideration of a recommendation, a procedure which is inconsistent with the law established in the 2nd and 3rd judges' cases. The Supreme Court emphasized that the entire collegium of the High Court must participate in such decisions. This week, the Supreme Court temporarily stayed a condition imposed by the Madras High Court that required YouTuber Felix Gerald to shut down his channel RedPix 24/7 as a bail condition. Gerald's channel had become the center of controversy after airing an interview with Sabuku Shankar, which allegedly made scandalous comments about the judiciary and women IPS officers. Facing charges under the IPC and the Tamil Nadu Prohibition of Harassment of Women Act, Gerald sought relief from the bail condition. Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, leading the bench, questioned the appropriateness of such remarks being broadcast, raising concerns about the comments made against women IPS officers and the judiciary. Senior advocate Gopal Shankar Narayanan, who was representing Gerald, conceded that the interview should not have been hosted. But at the same time, the senior counsel argued that shutting down a YouTube channel with over 2 million subscribers was excessive, especially for a single interview. After hearing both sides, the court granted interim relief, putting the shutdown order on hold and issuing notice to the state of Tamil Nadu for further proceedings. The Supreme Court this week addressed the issue of improper marking of advocate presence in court proceedings. A bench of Justices J.K. Maheshwari and Rajesh Bindal criticized the growing trend of advocates marking their presence even when neither physically nor virtually present. The court was dealing with a case where an advocate on record or AOR failed to appear for consecutive hearings, yet their presence was recorded via an online portal. Citing a circular from December 2022, the court emphasized that only advocates physically or virtually present should have their attendance recorded. The court strictly prohibited the practice of marking the presence of advocates who, although associated with the case, were absent from the hearing. Additionally, the Supreme Court Bar Association and other related bodies have been urged to ensure that only those advocates who are physically or virtually involved should be marked as present. In an important development, the Kerala High Court has constituted a special bench this week to address cases stemming from the Justice Hema Committee report. Justices A.K. Jayashankaran Nambiar and C.S. Sudha will preside over the bench to handle issues revealed in the report, which details the problems faced by women in the Malayalam film industry. Originally published in August 2024, the report highlights sexual harassment, wage disparities, and unsafe working conditions faced by women in the industry. Following the report's release, a public interest litigation was filed, urging criminal proceedings against offenders named in the report. The Kerala High Court subsequently directed the state government to submit the complete report, including redacted portions, in a sealed cover for further examination. Additionally, the Kerala State Women's Commission has also been added as a party in these proceedings. The Madhya Pradesh High Court this week addressed a public interest litigation filed against the release of the film Emergency starring Kangana Ranaut. The movie, set during the 1975 emergency in India, has drawn criticism from the Sikh community, represented by Jabalpur Sikh Sangat and Guru Singh Sabha, Indore. The petitioners argued that certain scenes in the movie, particularly those related to the use of the term Khalistan, could harm the Sikh community. The Central Board of Film Certification has confirmed that certification for the movie is still pending. The court, led by Acting Chief Justice Sanjeev Sachdeva and Justice Vinay Saraf, directed the CVFC to consider the objections raised against the movie before granting a clearance certificate. The court refrained from issuing any further orders, highlighting that the CVFC remains the competent authority to decide on film certifications. Now, in a related development, the Bombay High Court also took up a case regarding the movie Emergency. A division bench, including Justices B. Kolabawala and Firdosh Pooniwala, ordered the CBFC to decide by 18 September on objections raised by the Jabalpur Sikh Sangat and others against the release of the film, stressing that the CBFC is the appropriate body to handle such concerns. Pointing to Madhya Pradesh High Court's order, which had already directed the board to decide the representations of the Jabalpur Sikh Sangat before certifying the film, the Bombay High Court refused to intervene further. At the same time, it acknowledged that the representations needed to be considered before issuing the final certification, giving the CBFC time till September 18 to complete the deliberations. In an ongoing defamation case, the Delhi High Court has issued a sharp reprimand to Wikipedia this week during a hearing on a contempt plea filed by ANI Media. ANI had previously sought information from Wikipedia about individuals who had edited its Wikipedia page, accusing them of defamation. Despite a court order to disclose this information, Wikipedia delayed its response. Justice Naveen Chawla, criticizing Wikipedia's inaction, remarked, and I quote, "If you don't like India, don't work here." ANI's defamation suit stems from allegedly harmful content on its Wikipedia page, with the company seeking ₹2 crores in damages and the removal of the content. The court has demanded that Wikipedia comply with its order and has summoned a representative to appear at the next hearing. It also hinted that failure to cooperate might lead to more severe consequences, including the potential blocking of Wikipedia in India. And that's a wrap for this week's Legal News Roundup. But before we bid adieu, the entire livelaw team has a small request for our dedicated viewers. As an independent and fact-driven media organization, we are deeply committed to fearless and ethical journalism. To continue bringing you the latest legal updates, especially in this dynamic audiovisual format, we rely on your support. So here's how you can help. Give our video a thumbs up if you found it informative. Share it with your family, friends, classmates, and colleagues. Make sure you've subscribed to our YouTube channel for more insightful content. Drop your valuable thoughts and feedback in the comments below and hit that bell icon to stay updated with our latest releases. Don't forget to visit our website at www.livelaw.in for our in-depth reports and analysis. Not only this, but the Livelaw channel offers memberships for only ₹89 per month. Become a part of LL supporters today to access exclusive perks such as loyalty badges next to your name in comments and live chat, priority reply to comments, and for our student pass audience, early access to explainers and legal updates. I'm your host Ostika Das, and it's been a pleasure bringing you this week's Legal News Roundup. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay tuned to Livelaw. Thank you for watching.